graders and fourth graders, we are back for another pitch reading activity. If you haven't done a pitch reading activity yet and say, another, then you might need to go check out the video I made before this. I will put it in the description at the bottom of this video, so you can just click on that link and know what I'm talking about. But we did some pitch reading last time. We learned about this as a treble clef, how it circles the G line, and how to read all of these lines and spaces, so I could quickly name all of these pitches correctly. So if you don't remember how to do this, and you need a little review, please check out my previous video, okay? If you're watching this on YouTube, then you can just go look it right in the description, and I will link my previous video, okay? But for those of you who have been masters at this, and some of you who turned in your work were like super fast, so I'm very excited that you guys are getting great at pitch reading. I thought it might be fun to share a game with you that you can download at home, and a game that I have on my computer, and I'll show you how to use it, the challenge of it, and then how to install it on your own computer, okay? But you need to get permission from mom and dad, okay? So, if I go down here, this game is called Staff Wars, and it is a pitch reading game in the style of Star Wars. So when we select our mission, we want to select the one we've been practicing, the treble clef, okay? So I'm going to select the treble clef, and I also want to make sure that my range isn't way above and way below with those ledger lines. We haven't really practiced that yet. So I'm going to click this until these notes sort of stop on the top long line here and on the bottom long line here. We don't want any of those extra lines today. So I'm going to keep clicking until there it is, okay? Top long line, bottom long line, no ledgers for today. Maybe when you get better, you can move on to those ledgers and give yourself a bit of a challenge, okay? So I'm going to pick the treble clef. Treble clef means high-sounding instruments like a piano, a flute, a trumpet, anything that uses high pitches. And here we go. So, when I play Staff Wars, I'm going to click Start, and it'll start really slowly. Alright, I know that's an E. Pew, destroyed. Destroyed. So you got to be pretty good at your memorization by now. Okay? Remember, the spaces spell face, F-A-C-E. Okay, so that's an E. And the lines, you could think every good, that's a G, boy deserves fudge. Now I'm going to let that G slide on by so you can see what happens if I don't get it in time. Ah! I've lost one of my lives. Okay, now I'm going to speed myself up and show you what happens once I get 10 correct. I'm at 9. Now I'm about to get 10. That's an F. Ooh, now it starts going speedy. Oh no, my sound messed up. Oh. Okay, so that's what happens. And I got 23 correct. I only progressed to level 3. And if I'm unhappy with that, that is unacceptable to me, then I can start over and see how fast I can go. Let me see if I can do better. By the way, if you want to type the letter, you can type it with your keyboard. You don't have to click it with your mouse. I'm just clicking so you can see what they are as I go along, because you can't see my keyboard right now. So that was better. 65, level 7. You see how fast it starts to go. It gets really, really challenging. So you can challenge yourself, or if you want to, you can always take a screenshot of the game and show me how well you did. You can send it to me on the Google Classroom, or you can share it to me in an email, christina.zahn@msad72.org. It's challenging. It's very, very challenging, and it starts to go really fast. So I'll show you where you can get it, okay? Much like anything that we do, you can start at Music with Miss Zahn, okay? So I just in Google, I type Music with Miss Zahn, I hit enter, and then I go to, this time I don't want to go to the music activities because I know that it's not there. Music with Miss Zahn, I'll just click on that one. Oh, brought me to music activities anyways. That's okay. So I'll just click on or hover over Music with Miss Zahn, and this one actually lives in a section called Download at Home because it's not something you can play in your internet browser. So if I click Download at Home, you'll see a picture of it here, and it says free download for PC or Mac. If you're using a school computer, something you've borrowed from the school, it's a Mac. If you are using something at home, it might be a PC. If it's an Apple computer, that's what's called a Mac. If it's a Windows or a Dell or lots of other different brands, it might be a PC. So ask your parents. You're going to need help with this part anyways. But if I click on the picture of Staff Wars, then it brings me to all these different options, but I know that I want Staff Wars. Some of these are worth checking out too. They're kind of fun, but like I said, they're all ones that you have to download, so maybe I'll do different videos on some of these other ones later to show you. But Staff Wars, we want to click free desktop version, and if you go to the App Store or Google Play or whatnot, it'll charge you. It'll ask you for like 99 cents or something like that. We don't need to do that. So if I am on a Mac, I will click right here next to Staff Wars version 1.8. These are other games. These are other options, okay? We want the Staff Wars, okay? This is the one that I was playing. You will notice that there is a second version of Staff Wars. It's very, very glitchy. It's for a live instrument. The computer will listen to your instrument and see if you're playing the right pitch, but it doesn't work great, so I wouldn't recommend it. I would play this one to practice. So if you have an Apple computer or a Mac, you click here to download it. If you have a Windows computer, then you click the image of the Windows to download it. It's free, and it's a fun game to practice your music reading skills. But remember, you need your parents' permission to download this, okay? So, Music with Miss Zahn, download at home, right? We hover over here, download at home, then we click on the picture of Staff Wars, and we choose the appropriate version, Mac or PC, okay? Enjoy, everybody.